Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career. Lost my train of thought for a second there. With Cadillac here on the PC. Tonight it is round 6 of Season 4 and we are heading to Singapore. Caught myself in the middle of about to make a verbal mistake and just it completely threw me for a second. And I had to just pause, reset, rethink. It's weird how just that one single little moment can just completely throw off your train of thought. So here we are, ready for Singapore, which I initially thought was going to be Azerbaijan, but that is Monday. That's around 7. So I'm hopeful that we are going to do reasonably well tonight. This is a circuit that can be quite tricky. It is going to be wet. If we take a look at the forecast, we've got intermittent rain through practice on Friday, nice and dry for qualifying on Saturday, and then we've got sort of medium intensity rain on the Sunday, which means we could maybe have dry running and wet running together. We might have wet running that just stays intermediate level. We could have intermediate going up to briefly up to full wets, or fluctuating between the two throughout the race. Or we could have all three gamuts of the spectrum in there. We could have dry, intermediate and full wet conditions. It could be anything. And we have two exceptional wet weather drivers, probably the two best wet weather drivers in the game. So I'm really excited. I think we might have some options for points here today, and we're usually pretty good when it comes to strategy calls when switching tyres. Sometimes we get it wrong, but more often than not in the wet we get it right. So that is encouraging as well. Evening, Clark, Army, Dino, Victor, good to see you guys. Clark has put everyone to shame. He's normally one of the last ones here. He's early today. He was here before I even hit go live. So, yes, making up for lost time, it seems. Right, let's take a quick look at the car. I think we should have one of the new parts available. So, how many of the new chassis do we have? Just the one. And I am going to give them to Hamilton because he is that little bit slower than Max. I think we should have a new suspension as well. So again, we'll just give that to Lewis. And that should balance him and Verstappen out pace-wise a little bit better. We have had to rely on Max to help pull Hamilton through a little bit while the car isn't great, or we've been just at a rough circuit. My hope is that this will put them more on a much more equal playing field and they can both push through without the need for towing games. So we'll see. That will annoy Max slightly. You can see now his car versus his teammate's car has a slight negative factor for him, but it's not massively substantial, and he'll have those parts himself in the next Grand Prix in Baku. We should, I hope, have them by then. Let's actually quickly check the manufacturing chain. So we are 3 days away from the next side pod. We're only 2 days away from the suspension. If we have a shocker of a qualifying with Max, or we just completely mess up the setup, we could potentially break Park Fairmay and stick that new suspension on him for the Grand Prix. That will drop. That's a side pod, isn't it? That's a spare. So we are 6 days away from the next chassis, so that will be in time for Baku. Baku is currently 7 days before we go there. So, right. Let's have a quick check-in with the board before we go. So we're down to medium confidence. They are not happy with current race results. As you can see, 4 disappointed in a row is not the best thing at the moment. Objectives is doing some heavy lifting for us because We did complete our previous long-term objective, and we also completed our target of 7th last season as well. But we are struggling a little bit so far this year. We're down to 8th place with a target of 5th. And we've only got 2 Grand Prix so far out of the 12 we need this year. But we're only at round 6, and we might potentially get some points here today, which would help massively get the long-term objective done as well. Evening, Daniel. I have not yet seen any of the information around day 5 of testing. I will be watching those highlights later. YouTube generally puts them up just after I go live, annoyingly. Yeah, I'll check those out later tonight. Let's get our targets set for tonight, shall we? We want to go 18th or higher, and hopefully we'll do much higher. And let's head to Singapore.
Our Formula One season continues here, in the Republic of Singapore. Singapore's Marina Bay is a floodlit extravaganza for the senses and a true test for F1 drivers. Cars are just inches away from the walls on this tight street circuit, and even at night, the air thrums with heat. How will the British driver George Russell fare this weekend? He was sensational in the last race, he took home the win and set the bar very high indeed. Now let's crack on with the weekend.
Evening, no clue. Right, we can start with inters. Actually, what is the current water level? 1.79. Okay. Don't want to burn up too many sets of inters this weekend. I do want to give Ugo another run, given that it's a normal Grand Prix weekend. He won't get the chance at Baku because that's a sprint weekend. So we'll just leave his fuel at 15 laps because we're going to be calling him in to redo the setup as soon as the first run's done. So let's look at setups. Pretty high downforce. Rear wing's going to be a 15.5. More than likely a 15.5. So that's where we're going to start. Front wing, probably somewhere in the region of 7 through till 9. We're going to start with a 7. And then let's go with a 9.1 on this car. We'll go a little less extreme on the next one. Excuse me. This is going to be probably on the low end. I'm going to push that all the way down. I'm going to push this most of the way up. And we do need to... Oh no, we've already got that part in, haven't we? Okay, excellent stuff. Let's see. Max is going to need more fuel, so we're going to push Max for... Let's see, 17 laps normally, 18 laps with the change to the circuit. Let's go with 22 laps of fuel. That should be enough. And we will go with a bit more on the front wing on this one. So we're going to go with an 8.5. Again, we'll go 15.5. We'll go to a 7.3. And then again with this, I'm going to go pretty low. We're going to bring it in just a touch, like that. And then this one I'm going to whack all the way up. Like that. And that is the setup we're going to try with Verstappen. So let's hit the track. Keep an eye on that weather, see if it's going to dry up.
So now we have green light.
Oh no, it's going to get it's going to dry up pretty quickly.
Ready to attack.
Good for me too.
I'm actually going to call Max in because it's already starting to dry up. Look, let's...
Yeah.
Let's see what tires. Let's go with medium, medium, hard for practice. Then we'll have a set of mediums and lots of softs for the Grand Prix and qualifying. And let's call Max in. Nobody else has come out yet. Oh, there. Nobody else has come out until I start saying that nobody's come out, and then instantly someone comes out. I am wondering if we're going to see quite a few cars actually staying in the pits until it dries up and just waiting for the drier weather. I am going to send Ugo now. I hope that he doesn't bin it.
And radio check. Copy, loud and clear.
Yeah, I mean, reading your comment there about Ferrari, Clark, nobody should really be reading too much into lap times and performance in this opening week, this private test at Barcelona. This is basically an extended shakedown. It's more a chance for teams to put some mileage on their cars to check for reliability, find those little bugs in the system and try and squash them. But you can see some clear favourites starting to emerge, at least in terms of reliability. Mercedes looking pretty ominous at the moment. RedBull have also looked pretty good. Like I said, I don't really know much about what's happened today, but I am curious to dig into how the Aston went today, because they didn't get a lot of laps in yesterday. Evening, Wayne. I've only seen a couple of screenshots that were posted last night as well, so really looking forward to seeing how just how aggressive that car has been. I've read up, Gary Anderson's sort of first look analysis at the car, and it does sound a very aggressive concept. Evening, Johnny. Alright, let's tell them to avoid the curbs.
Try to reduce curb use and it's unsettling the car.
Yeah.
And we'll speed them up.
We need to work on the tires, keep the temperature on the tires. The tires?
Right, should see an improvement in our lap times quite dramatically now that the track's drying up, and should be dry for the rest of the session. You saw one of the McLarens chasing us into the garage. It was Bortoletto. Got a few rookies running alongside Ugo. Let's have a look at the actual breakdown, because I can't remember half the names now. Elizabeth Krauss getting a run out for Mercedes. Christina Albanese getting a run out for Mercedes as well. So they're running two rookies in this session. Victor Farkas and Heverson Sieber getting a run out at Williams. No, that's not Williams, it's Maserati, I think. I don't know, it might be. Yeah, that's Williams. Let's see. Anyone else? No, that appears to be everybody. And no sign of Lindsley since we changed his the spelling of his name. I wonder if we've accidentally broken him, and we won't see him ever again. I don't think that'll be the case, but you never know. Welcome, Gina.
So rain has stopped.
And that's the end of the rain for this session. Now we just need to focus on the feedback.
Any feedback on the car?
81% isn't a bad start.
Understood.
Let's get him in, make some tweaks.
Any comments there?
Yeah, that's nice.
So let's pull that in to an
Okay.
8.2. Let's put a bit more front wing on, and I think we're going to need to push that to a 7.3. Let's try bringing this up. Maybe a touch. Let's drop that down a bit. No. Let's try that. Which I think is essentially what we put on Verstappen, isn't it? Not quite. We put an 8.5 on Verstappen, if memory serves. Yeah, I'm going to try with a 9 on this car. We've got feedback from Verstappen. Let's have a look. He is at 90%. Okay, well, he's going to keep running.
Can you check the temperature?
There we go. Send Ugo back out to continue his development run.
And try to work on your front tires.
How was my day today? A bit broken. In places, broken up a lot. I didn't really sleep very well last night. I only slept for about 3 hours. So I ended up trying to get a bit more sleep later this morning after being up for a couple of hours. And I napped effectively 3 times in the space of one attempt to sleep. I slept for about an hour and then I woke up and then got back to sleep for about another 20 minutes. Woke up and then back to sleep for about another 20 minutes. So I was pretty tired a couple of hours ago. Had to make sure I was still awake and up and couldn't just go back to bed because I was expecting a parcel from Royal Mail, which did eventually turn up. I ordered 2 more of the Dark Horse Mass Effect figures to bolster the collection. Well, I ordered 3 more around September last year, and the first 2 of those have turned up. I've got to wait till the summer, I think, before I can get Shepherd. But Jack and Legion turned up today to go along with my current collection of Liara, Thane Krios, Talizora, Rex, Garrus, and Morgan Solus. So I've almost got the full squad. Have I posted them anywhere? I don't think so, no. I will post a pic over the weekend. I don't have any lighting or anything set up around them. They're just taking up like a row of shelves on my Cadillacs that sits behind me. But as soon as they were delivered, I then went back to sleep for about an hour-ish, I think. Oh, hour and a half. So I've been up for about an hour again, and I'm certainly a lot more alert and refreshed now. Haven't eaten yet today though, so I'm gonna have to do that straight after the stream.
And try to keep the temperature on the tires.
Right, Max is done. Let's get him back into the garage. Make some tweaks to his setup. We're almost done with Ugo's second run as well. That could go either way. Could be a 6-4. It could be an 8-2. I'm more inclined to think it's going to be an 8-2. Just because the front wing, the rear wing is about where it needs to be. So let's dip it down to an 8-2. We're going to drop the front wing down to the opposite side. Let's go with a 7.5, I think. Let's bump that up ever so slightly to compensate. There's a small gap there, and I think I might just leave it like that. Actually, let me take that down to a 7, just so I've got a bit more wiggle room there. There's still a tiny bit of wiggle room there, but that will then make that easier to reconfigure. So that's what we're going to try in the next session for Max. Now we just need to wait for Ugo. There we go.
Update
he says optimal, so that's either 97, well, it's between 97 and 100. And it's 97. Oh, it actually tells me there.
Copy, understood.
Doesn't normally do that, but it's because it's a development driver. Has he done his development run, actually? Yes, he's at 100 on his development run. So we can call him in, and he is done for the day. He's done for the weekend. It'll be Hamilton in the car for the next session. And we can sit back and watch the shenanigans as Lindblad has wrecked his car.
There's been a crash. Now we should be able to take a look here. So here we are following the Alpine. And that's the moment the car plows into the wall.
He does a stroll.
The team won't want to see that happen again.
Kind of. Stroll crashed on this corner on turn 19. Massively wrecking the car across the start-finish straight. He crashed on turn 18 just before that second left-hand kink. But yeah, heavy impact there for Lindblad. That will certainly not do his car any favours. Heads up for all you console constructors out there as well. Another YouTube tutorial dropped today. The logo tutorial is for Citroen, the new current logo for Citroen. I posted it in those colours because that fitted what I was doing with the car, but you could change the interior colour to whatever matches the car colour that you're going to be putting it on, and you know, white or black for the exterior, depending on whether it's a light or dark colour for the car. That dropped earlier today, about 6.5 hours ago. So if you're interested in making a Citroen logo, there's a nice, easy step-by-step guide there. from start to finish, it's about 15 minutes. If you need to pause, there's always a little delay between me positioning, making the final positional move on the layer before I move to the next one, so that when it gives you that moment to pause and you can see all three of the bits you need, the reference points you need on screen at once. But yeah, that one's done. Next one will be possibly Fittipaldi. I do need to make some refinements to it. It's still a little rough in places. So I may do that one next. I may go ahead and do Texaco next instead. I'm not sure. But there will be another tutorial in a couple of days, possibly Sunday. All right, end of practice one. Red Bull looking pretty ominous at the top there. Arvid third despite wrecking. Again, practice times don't mean too much, especially when you've got a mixture of conditions, fuel loads, different tyre compounds. But yeah, Red Bull looking strong on the opening session there. All right, into P2. Track water level just over 1 mil, so that means it could go dry very quickly here. We are going to start on the hard tyres in the hope that that is what's going to happen. Let's go with 25 laps for Lewis. And we'll go with 20 laps for Max. There we go. So we are set. We didn't make changes here, did we? Oh, so close, look, with the front wing. Let's bring it down to an 8.5. Let's push that up to compensate, and that should hopefully be spot on.
Green light.
Oh, it is actually going to get a bit wetter. All right, well, we're still going to tough it out and hope on the hards, because we do need to use these hards. And I want to try and avoid using the inters, given that we could need inters for the race. It's unlikely we'll need all of the intersets that we've got, but sometimes we see some really strange goings on with multiple red flags, and if we've got lots of new inters to keep changing to, that's always a bonus. As always, we'll tell them to avoid the high-risk curbs, just protect the car a little bit more.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
Hopefully reduce the chance of an incident. And away we go. So I've made a slight change to how the mod was organised for Realistic Racing 4. I did realise that I was running an incorrect version of the mod last night.
How is track
I got two sets of different files duplicating, and I don't know if they were clashing with each other. But I took out the ones that needed to be taken out, so we've got exactly what we need for the new full bells and whistles hard version of version 4. As Yuki has a spin. So we might see an increase in the difficulty in overtaking tonight. We also might potentially see more incidents in the opening laps as well. Interestingly, everyone else decided to go out on dry tyres as well. Look. Don't think anyone's hit the track on inters yet. Oh, no, Lindblad's done a lap. And track's changed to dry. Just as Lindblad gets out on inters. And it's going to get wetter again. So this little window of DRS won't last very long. There we go. It's gone again. And that's it for a while now.
The car feel?
We were up to optimal for Max, so between 97 and 100.
Got that.
Please be 100. 97. Damn it. All right. Actually, what's his rating at? 56%. Yeah, we can call him in. Evening, Farrah. I don't know if you and Wayne have noticed, but they're changing the spanner to a shield, it would seem. Right, Max needs a little bit more front wing. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Let's take it down a little bit. I noticed earlier in the week that it was showing us shields, and I wasn't sure if that was a bug or something, so I hit refresh, and it changed back to spanners. And then I noticed again a couple of days ago that you were now starting to show up on my sidebar in OBS as shields. So, yeah, strange. It's still showing as spanners on my tablet on YouTube. But shields on my phone. Very strange.
Any feedback on the car? Understood.
Alright, Hamilton's feedback is good. We've gone to 100. He needs to keep running though. Had a little chat with the creator of the 2013 mod earlier as well. He's fixed some of the issues that I reported.
And no more rain.
To him.
Yep.
And asked me if I'd like to run it again, just to make sure that everything's working. I said I'd be more than happy to. I still want to run a series on it, but if we can iron out some of those bugs before I start the series, that would be awesome. And I'm going to see if he would be interested in maybe teaching me how to do a few bits and bobs mod-wise within that, so that I can A, potentially help out with it, and B, maybe even start my own mod at some point. I would love to start a historical series, a really historical series, sort of starting around 1989, 1990. So that we can have drivers like Senna, Mansell, Prost, Patrese, Berger, Alesi, you know, even Brundle, Blundell, you know, loads of classic drivers. still going. What's he up to? 47%. With the setup change, that'll go up to nearly 50. I think we'll call him in. Actually, how many laps has he done? He's done 22 laps. He's going to be in a couple of laps anyway. So we'll just leave him out there. I think we've got 25 laps of fuel in the car, so... There we go. He's coming in. So it's 24. And then 25 as we hit the pits. And we have 100, which is 2% away. A very short splash and dash in the next session. We'll get him up there.
Now we can see what happened. This one is involving Yuki Tsunoda. And that's... Oh no, that's
lucky
not
to
quite
keep it out
what
of
they
the
would have
barrier there.
wanted. And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage if they keep on...
Oscar hopping out on a set of mediums for a quick run. And that is the end of practice 2. So I'm pretty sure that we are where we need to be with Verstappen, but we're going to do a short run anyway, just to use up a set of dry tyres, so we can keep an extra set of softs again. And then we are where we need to be with Hamilton. We just need an extra tiny bit of time on track. So before I do that, let me change those. There we go. Right,
So
send
now
them
we
out.
have green light.
Try to reduce curb use and it's unsettling the car.
Yeah.
Nearly there. So they give him 5 laps. There we go. He's done now. I'm glad I didn't, because it wouldn't have been enough. There we go. Hamilton is complete. Just waiting on that last little bit of feedback from Max to check the setup change, and then we'll call him in. There we go. 100 for Max as well. Beautiful stuff. So, we are done with practice entirely. Both drivers at 100% setup, both at 100% prep. And no damage. A good day. Let's check. Powertrain components. The only thing we can change at the moment is the gearbox. I'm still not sure. If the engines are still okay going into qualifying, I might keep them in for this Grand Prix and then change them for Baku. That would be the preferable situation. But if they've already dipped into the yellow, I don't know if I'll do it. And again, I suppose it depends how off the pace we are in qualifying as well. If we do run the older engines and we're slow and we get knocked out very, very early, it might be better to just bite the bullet and put the engine in a race early. Alright, a little issue for Lindblad's Nissan.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of fault.
A legacy of that crash in FP1. Bad weekend for Lindblad. Well, it depends. If that goes orange before the end of this session, it'll get switched out without any issues. If it translates into damage and wear and tear, and then it goes orange during qualifying, oh, there we go, fault's just cleared up. Then that's actually a good thing that it cleared up. Otherwise, it would have translated into some yellow damage, I think, going into the next session. But if it goes orange, it gets swapped out at the end of the that part of the weekend. So if it happens in practice, it gets swapped out at the end of that session. If it happens in qualifying, it gets swapped out at the end of qualifying entirely. But that then necessitates a pit lane start for changing parts of the powertrain. And if it happens during the race, well, you're kind of shit out of luck, because you've got to put up with it for 50-something laps. So it's Lando topping the final session. Again, times don't mean too much in these in practice, but we're about to find out just what the times really are going to be as we head to qualifying.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Executing the perfect qualifying lap around Singapore comes down to absolute precision. The circuit needs high downforce and a good suspension to maximize grip on the bumpy street surface.
So as we head into this qualifying session, Karun, how do you think Lando's going to be feeling?
They were looking pretty sharp in practice and setting good lap times, so they're probably feeling fairly confident now. But a good practice time doesn't always guarantee a strong qualifying outcome.
Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
right, let's have a look at those engines. 50 and 50. They're right on the cusp. I'm going to chance it. If we can get through this weekend, still do a decent job, and keep these engines in, then that will be excellent, because it will give us the brand new powertrain for Baku rather than putting it in today instead. Let's hit the track, see what we can do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green light.
So this is going to be our first qualifying with the realistic racing modular stuff set up correctly. So theoretically, traffic should get out of the way easier and quicker on cool-down laps and warm-up laps if someone's coming through on a hot lap. So that might be good, it might be bad, we'll see. No doubt at some point we're going to hit traffic on one of our runs. And someone's definitely going to hit traffic. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly the cars do move out the way. I did speak to the creator of the realistic racing mod as well, asking what happened to X mode, because that was something we were wanting to put in, and it's not in version 4. And apparently he is working on that as a separate mod for the 2026 DLC. So that will come back at some point. Whether it will be bundled in with the 2026 mod or something completely separate but compatible, I don't know. But yeah, that is being worked on. And I do think that Mr. Only is working with the mod team that did the 2025 DLC for the 26 DLC that's still in development, given that he has put that some of those car models that he's been working on for the 2026 designs will potentially be released for free in the future. That to me is a clear indicator that he is
Go.
doing the car model side for that DLC. Little Onion will be doing the helmets as he always does. And there might be a couple of different people working on liveries and overalls and stuff. Right, Hamilton a couple of tenths up in the first sector. We got our first little bit of traffic coming up. Let's see how quickly he gets out of the way. Pretty quickly. I don't think Max will catch him before the end of the lap, but we will definitely keep an eye on that as qualifying continues. In fact, we'll switch to Charles Leclerc in a second, because he's coming up on the back of one of the two McLarens and one of the two Williams drivers. So 128.3 for Lewis, who's running the new chassis and suspension. And 123.
Stay negative on the delta.
For Max.
Hamilton will be coming past.
And Leclerc's not going to catch these two in time, I don't think. No, they've just started pushing now. It's Albon and Albon and Russell, I think. No, Albon and Bortoletto. Russell's already further ahead. There's Russell. Welcome, Stan. You could have at least put out some refreshments for us if we're visiting your home. Right, which Alpine do I want? Schumacher. Here we go. No hold up there. That is normally a dodgy spot. So Antonelli goes top, just ahead of Colapinto. Leclerc not too far behind, nor Hamilton for that matter.
Speed limiter on, and speed limiter on, and stop in front of the garage.
I'm in.
Make sure your limiter is on. Stop in front of your box.
Right, Leclerc might have to move out the way for Schumacher hit. There is Leclerc. He's already pulled over. Look, yeah, that's really early. So that's definitely an improvement. We should hopefully have a nice little bit of relief now when it comes to qualifying. No more horrendous blocks. Let's put the tyres back on for another run. Stroll and Perez, the two Audis coming through. Perez just ahead there, going through into the chicane. A little slow getting on the power there for Stroll. Perez goes up to third. 10th for Stroll. McLaren currently first and second. Track evolution is usually pretty strong around this circuit, so plenty of time to find. You can see where we started, and the track's already ramped up to here. It's going to massively ramp up at the end. Oh, we got our first yellow flag. Was that a Ferrari? Was it Sainz? It was Sainz. Did he just clip the barrier somewhere? Ooh, yeah. That's an unusual place to drop it. And he has aborted his lap. We're also at that point where we need to send our boys out, don't we? Send out Max. We're at that point in the season where some teams will be running newer powertrains, others won't yet as well. We're at that crossover point ourselves, and we're sticking with the older engine for now. So we're going to see some potentially weird results over the next race or two as well, where some cars are still running older units and have a bit less power. As Lindblad goes top, and Piastri is a tenth slower. Predictions for Q1, I don't know. Because of the powertrain situation and the track evolution and the fact that we are running the correct version of the modular system, it's going to affect how everything runs this weekend as opposed to how it would have run if we kept the same setup for last night, which was incorrect and not working properly. So it's too early to say, but once everyone's done the time, we'll get a clearer picture of who might be at risk. That is Ocon on and out lap in front of us, so he will potentially be helpful because the Aston has been pretty quick. Let's see if Verstappen can stay with him.
Gap is good. You are good to go. So you're in a good position.
Watch the traffic. And charge button off for last corner. Charge button off.
Norris has popped himself up into P4. Tsunoda about halfway round the lap at the moment, coming up towards the second split. This is at the end of the DRS zone he's just about to hit. .26.8 is a small improvement for Max. What about Lewis? 26.8, slightly worse for Lewis. Right, Sainz now starting his flying lap after aborting the first run for hitting the barrier just here. Yuki is only P15. Max is on a decent lap here, slightly quicker than Yuki. Hamilton has improved in the middle. Ocon goes to P7, Max improves to P14. Don't know how much help Ocon was, whether the slipstream overcame the dirty air. Hamilton improves by, I think, 13 thousandths there. He goes above Leclerc. And look how early Max gets out of the way. So that was a very, very small improvement for Lewis. Yeah, 13 thousandths, look. But it was enough to move him above Charles Leclerc. Alright, who is on a run? Sainz crosses the line and he is slow. What about Ollie Bearman? The Ferrari just struggling here. I mean, he's, what, 6 tenths up, 7 tenths up, and a much better final sector as well. I think Sainz has got some damage as a result of that crash. We might see him starting from the pit lane. Change out that powertrain. Ollie Bearman up into 8th place. Max now into the drop zone. Going to need some fresh tyres for him. Russell's on a lap and improving. Pato has crossed the line into P4. Leclerc out there looking to improve. And he doesn't. Leclerc still P15. And again, getting out of the way nicely there for Checo.
The pit lane. Okay, stop on the marks.
Russell improving. Piastri going out for another lap. Let's bolt on a brand new set of tyres.
Stop in front of the garage.
See if we can squeeze a bit more. The margins of getting through and going out are going to be really small. Look at that. We're only 39 thousandths difference between our two drivers. But one is through, one is out, as things currently stand. Here comes George. He goes top. Not sure how much by, because Lindblad's on an out lap at the moment, just leaving the pit lane. There he is. Let's check this timing board. So nearly 3 tenths ahead of Lindblad at the moment. Oh, excuse me. Let's send Max now. Way to beat, and then we'll send Lewis. As Piastri starts his flying lap, goes rocketing into turn 1. Here comes Perez up to the line. He does not improve. Margins are super tight. Yeah, well, now that everyone's getting out of the way of each other in qualifying,
Try to work on the front tires.
it's we might well see a lot less of those weird anomalies of cars just getting blocked and qualifying at the back of the grid as a result. That has been a problem for Oscar in recent Grand Prix. And Leclerc at times as well. He definitely needs to find a bit more time. Sainz, I think, is carrying some damage still. There's only so much they can change on the car as well, mid-session. Oscar, so far, is absolutely flying. Evening, Stefan. Will there be a 2026 DLC? Yes, there will. I'm not sure when it will be out, but the team that put together the 2025 mod are working on a 26 mod. I imagine it probably won't come out till, you know, for at least another couple of months. Oh, Lindblad's out. He's crashed again.
And red flag. Stay positive. Red flag.
We were just about to start our flying lap, and that's now been aborted.
The action now at turn 7. Oh, and the car with a nasty crash.
That's
into the
another
barrier.
big hit on the
That would have knocked their
powertrain.
confidence, I'm sure.
It has been a bad weekend for Arvid.
The team glued to the monitors and watching their hopes crumble away.
Session will restart, but there won't be much time left. We might see a whole flurry of activity, everyone diving out the pits at the same time. How long have we got left in the session? Oh, less than 3 minutes. So Max is out first. That was important. Get him the clean air. Evening, Eric. This is going to be a dramatic single lap shootout. Lindblad will get through to the next session, but will take no further part in the Grand Prix in qualifying.
And we need you to push this out.
So he'll be out in P15,
Understood.
P16. And he's probably going to have to start from the pit lane as well, actually. That's 2 big hits on the powertrain this weekend. So Max needs a time.
Tyre temps look good.
He is currently in the drop zone.
We're looking good. And good to go.
Hamilton needs a time as well because he's certainly not safe. Here we go. It's not a great first sector. 26.8 matches his previous personal best in that sector.
Track is clear. Track is clear.
Need him to improve in this next sector.
Charge button off for last corner.
Last time he went out, he was getting a little bit of a slipstream / dirty air. This time he's unopposed. But may have to think defensively with the cars behind him. I hope he's going to be good. Hamilton has made it across the line. Sainz goes purple in the first sector. Max has not improved in the middle sector. I think Max might be going out. Unless he pulls out an absolute blinder here in the final sector. And even then, I don't think it'll be enough. Hamilton's found a slight improvement in the in the first sector. Around the final corner and across the line, Max finds a little bit of time in the final sector, but does not improve. Schumacher goes up to P2. Colapinto is done in 11th. Albon is out. Norris up to P2. Now Tsunoda pops up there. Hamilton on the verge of elimination. Bottas improves. We're into the drop zone. Sainz goes up to 11th place. Stroll is out. Antonelli gets up to 4th. Colapinto is out. Can we get through? No improvement. Well, a little improvement, but not enough. So, in the car, in the dry, it's not good enough. But it is a wet Grand Prix, and we have the 2 best wet weather drivers. Small consolation. Let's see who sticks it on pole position for the Grand Prix. It's George ahead of Checo. Wow, Checo up in 2nd place. And it's Oscar from Lando. Charles in 5th ahead of Ollie Bearman. Tsunoda, Antonelli. Sainz got 9th in the end. And Bortoletto in 10th place. So who went out in Q2? Gasly from Ocon. Pato O'Ward, Valtteri, Schumacher, and Lindblad did not take part in Q2. So finished automatically in 16th. Interesting grid. I do think we will see potentially at least 1 grid penalty for Lindblad starting in the pit lane. Choices. Now, do I sacrifice Max, put him in the pits, and change him to the new suspension? Because we should have it now. I think we have to, really, don't we? All right, the race is up next.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action.
The walls around Singapore force the cars close together, and even the best can waver in the tight spaces. Back in 2011, we saw Lewis Hamilton clip Felipe Massa as the two battled it out. There were certainly some words exchanged after that one, as I'm sure you recall.
The bumpy street surfaces here make this a challenging circuit for the drivers, and the humidity causes them to lose as much as 3 kilos over the course of a race. But it's also tough on the cars, with 23 corners to tackle each and every lap. Good low-speed downforce will make all the difference here. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
All right, we are starting with water on the track. 1.58 mil is the current water level. Let's check the default starting grid. And we can see Lindblad is going to start from the pits. And we're going to start Max from the pits as well, because we do have that new suspension now. So let's go into here and brake park Verme. Let's give him the new Mark II suspension that is now ready. There we go. That'll give him, as you can see, a little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra downforce, an extra 2.5% on tyre wear, which could well be important because I am going to try and take these inters all the way through to the softs at the end. I think. Well, let's check what the forecast says, first of all. So we're looking at around lap 52, according to Lewis. Lap 50, according to Max. He's a 99 rated, wet weather driver. 98 rated for Max. So both of them pretty reliable when it comes to their forecasting predictions. Our radar, not so much. Our radar is saying it's going to be dry all the way through. I trust my drivers over the radar. So yeah, we're going to try and hold track position and not make a stop for a second set of inters, unless there's a safety car. We're going to put an extra lap of fuel in so that we can go hard off the line for... Actually, there's no point with Max. But we will push his braking zones a bit. Hamilton, hope we don't get caught up in any Turn 1 drama. We are prepped and ready then. We are going to run the older engines. ERSs are fine. Gearboxes are still fine. New suspension going onto Max's car, which will start in from the pit lane. Let's head to the grid for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. And there's no doubting that Lance Stroll is prepared to put in the hard work.
They sit in 17th, and let's be honest, no one wants to be at the back of the pack. But can they impress us here?
No one wants to be at the back of the pack, with Hamilton sat just behind him in
And
18th.
Looks like we're good to go. And this is it, the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away
Stroll
we
will
go.
crash. Yeah, Stroll does like doing Stroll things, doesn't he? There's Max queued up behind Lindblad in the pits. We get through turn 1 okay. And straight onto the out of the pit lane and onto the back of the train for both Lindblad and Max. All right, we lost a position to Lawson.
And we need to look after these tires.
The tyre
Actually,
guys
while we're
believe that we can increase pace
stuck in the queue like this,
slow down now.
Yeah, okay.
let's drop the tyre pace all the way down.
On.
Yep.
Charge on.
Okay.
We'll save the battery because it looks like DRS might be coming. Let's take a look at the in-game forecaster. Says that we might well get some DRS, but it'll be very, very short if it does happen. Again, our weather centre's not great.
Yeah, dry lines are disappearing now slowly.
It's a line I've not really heard from Max before, so that's good to hear a bit of additional audio that we aren't used to hearing. Never had Max as one of my drivers before, you know, in a career mode. Water levels starting to creep back up again, so maybe we're not going to get DRS after all.
And tires are good to push.
This is potentially going to be a long, tedious run on these tyres. Russell leads from Checo. Then it's Piastri and Leclerc 3rd and 4th. Norris in 5th, Bearman 6th, Tsunoda 7th, Antonelli is 8th, Sainz 9th, Bortoletto 10th. Then it's Ocon ahead of the two Toyotas of Gasly and Bottas. O'Ward and Colapinto separated with Schumacher in between them. Stroll is 17th, then Hamilton in 19th is splitting the two Williams drivers of Lawson and Albon. Lindblad 21st, and there is Max bringing up the rear. Again, no need to do anything crazy at the moment, just going to bide our time. Hope that the AI starts to overheat their tyres a little bit. No breakaways anywhere really in the pack so far. And that water level is coming down, but we're about to get some pretty heavy rain turning up. It's going to jump the water level up close to the crossover point, but not actually in it, I think. Or if it does cross over to 4 mil, it won't last for very long. It certainly won't be worth putting on wet tyres. Stay with the Inters. Tyre temps creeping up just a little bit as the track dries out. We need to keep these tyres in excellent condition if we are planning to go all the way through the wet weather on these tyres.
Full management on this set.
Okay.
That's why I put the extra fuel in, so that we could at least try and keep the pace up and maybe the temperature up by pushing in the braking zones. And I am now going to turn the batteries on just in case we are about to get some DRS activation in a lap or so to close the gap back up.
No push.
Okay.
Get Max to put some pressure on Lindblad as well. Try and make sure that he doesn't have DRS. Is he going to switch on?
Track condition update, so you can.
Yes, it is.
Dry line pretty much everywhere. V6 soon.
DRS is enabled for reference.
It's possible to follow.
Continue, keep going.
All right, Hamilton's going to try and go up the inside. Couldn't quite get back past Lawson. Lindblad's close right up on Alex Albon, so it might be Albon that gets dropped from the DRS potentially. Let's give Hamilton a little bit more tyre, just to see if we can get an overtake done before the DRS switches off again.
We're okay to push a bit harder if you can.
Understood.
And yeah, we're about to lose that DRS. Look, we're not going to make it to the next zone.
Okay.
That's frustrating. We almost got position back off Lawson, but we didn't quite make it in the end.
Increase tire saving.
Understood.
No management required.
Yeah.
So we're back to protecting the tyres and seeing if we can stay out while others box. as Piastri gets past Perez. So, the champion up into second place. Perez still hanging on in there, but Piastri will get the slipstream benefit from Russell. And that helps pull him through eventually. And he does now complete the move. And the track is getting very wet very quickly, look. And then we've got intermediate rain due in a few minutes to calm things back down again. Oh, Albon jumped us.
DRS.
Sneaky, sneaky. Caught me out when I wasn't paying attention.
Nice.
And Charles Platon.
Now we've got our first fault of the day for Pato Awards. No point clicking, no audio for Pato. So it'll just be Crofty going, "Hey, yeah, it looks like there's a fault on that car." That was a flawless David Croft impression there. I hope you appreciate the artistry that went into that. Indistinguishable from the real thing. Right, track water level is about to hit 2 mil. Let's see. Let's turn the tyres up.
Still margin to push a bit harder through turn 6 and turn 12.
You can push.
Lindblad's muscled his way through. So we're at the back of the grid. Yay.
Continue like this.
But I do think that the AI is going to be looking to make at least one stop. Do we have any update here yet? No, we don't. Both my drivers do think it will go to slicks at the end. And I'm more inclined to believe them than my radar. Going to change their strategy to show that. Just to make it easier for me to track where and when I can actually use the tyres pretty heavily. We are definitely lacking pace, but again, we're running a low tyre pace at the moment. Now that the track is getting a bit wetter, we can turn them up without them overheating.
If there's anything left in the tank, let's go for it.
Definitely off the boil pace-wise, but there's still no massive breakaway groups, look. We just happen to be at the back of the group. Let's turn our attention to the front for a moment. Oscar has caught George and is starting to look a little threatening. Leclerc putting pressure on Perez, who's almost out of the 1 second window for slipstream. That might give Leclerc an opportunity. Norris is out of range. Bearman's got a bit of a gap opening up between them. Max is looking a little bit quicker than Lewis at the moment, so I'm actually going to tell Lewis to move over.
Yep.
There we go. Let's give Verstappen a chance to close things up a bit.
And charge button on, charge button on.
Leclerc still close, but not close enough.
And we need to increase tire saving.
Slow down now.
Yeah.
Put a couple of seconds between our drivers so that there's no dirty air overheating issues. I think this is the most likely overtake that's going to happen next, will be Leclerc on Perez, but every time Perez looks a little vulnerable, he suddenly gets really close to the back of Piastri again in a braking zone. Gets that slipstream back. Might be an opportunity here potentially. Where it's close, he's got to run. Is he going to step out and have a go? No, he's not. Once again, though, no real breakaway, and I'm now wondering whether or not staying out like this and trying to really manage our pace and just stay out is the right call, or whether we should box early on a gamble that everyone else will box, get that fresher rubber on sooner and undercut everybody. I think if we are going to do that, we're going to need to probably do it in about 10-15 laps time. I don't think the tyres are going to wear out enough for it, though. I think everyone's going to try and stay out on the tyres they're on, and we're just going to end up a long way back with quicker tyres, but maybe not a quick enough car to take advantage of it. I think we have to stay out and hope that they're all going to box.
Charge on.
Okay.
And charge button on, charge button on.
Once we get track position, we'll go into a defensive mode and make it really hard for others to get past us. But I'm working on the assumption that their tyres are wearing out quicker than ours. And of course, we don't have the tyre data. So I could be barking up the wrong tree here. Could be completely wrong in my thinking. I was hopeful that we were going to have periods where it would be changing compounds. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. I'm going to wait till sort of around here to find out if it is going to go high enough into the wets to tempt the AI into making that switch. Otherwise, we are just going to be pootling around at the back for no reason. Maybe we should have put a better engine in. It's going to be one of those races where we just have to be alert and try and grab onto any advantage where it appears. You see Leclerc now really going for it. No way through. Perez covering him off. And pressure is mounting on Checo. Track is dropping quite quickly as well. Tyre temps coming down. And still the pace is pretty evenly spread. You know, there's no, again, still no real breakaways anywhere. No one's more than 2 seconds behind the car in front until you get to us. Then it's a slightly different story. But we are running on a very different kind of pace strategy at the moment. I think we're going to see another attempt from Charles Leclerc. He's lost a little bit of ground there. And he's not close enough. Let's have a look at Stroll and Lawson. Stroll definitely is slipping back a little bit from Colapinto, so there's a chance of an overtake brewing here. Pace-wise, we're still kind of matching the cars in front. Hamilton just a little off the pace.
And we are free to fight.
Understood.
Well, Leclerc has got another opportunity to make a run at Perez. Needs a good exit through these couple of corners here. Is he close enough for a look into turn one? I don't know if he's got any battery. We may as well use ours.
Mode push at the moment.
Yeah.
Now that they're full.
Use the energy.
Understood.
Well, here we go. Here's a look. Cuts to the inside. Is he going to get him into braking? No, Perez is able to hold him back. The frustration for Leclerc continues.
If you are able to increase pace, it would be a good time to do it.
So increase pushing status.
I really hope I'm not barking up the wrong tree here, that we are going to see some pit stops. Otherwise, we are on a hiding to nothing here. Getting a horrible feeling that maybe it's not going to work out the way I want it to. Nearly squeezing alongside into turn one. Gap is opening up. Look, Perez driving a bit more defensively. Can we see anybody from Max's view? Just. We are closing in again, but I think we're going to actually have to really start pushing the tyres.
Charge on.
Okay.
Charge button on. Charge button on.
Oh, we have a yellow flag. Is that contact or just a little wide moment for Mick?
And it was Mick Schumacher involved. Oh no! Why'd they go? That won't do. The
Cars
floor
are
of
a
the
bit more
car
fragile
any
now
good
with
at all.
the modular version of the mod for realistic racing, so another trip like that could break his underfloor. Keep our fingers crossed. Our pace, 138s, chasing down 139s. Slowly bringing ourselves back towards the field again, but we were using battery, so let's just pop the tyres
Save
again.
less.
And push.
There's Lando, still keeping that watching brief on the battle between Leclerc and Perez. The gap now 2 seconds to Piastri, who might be shaping up for a run on Russell here. Russell, the champion at the end of season 1, against Piastri, the champion at the end of season 2. No, Norris was the champion at the end of season 2. Piastri, the champion of season 3. And current favourite to retain his title, which no one's done yet. 39.2. Again, just pace isn't there. I really thought with the wet weather specialists that we have that it would overcome some of the inadequacies of the car and we would actually be a bit more competitive in this, but it's just not happening, is it? All right, when's the big water coming? Soon. Big water coming soon. There we go. Moderate rain and heavy rain. 5 minutes for the heavy, 9 for the moderate. So that'll push the water level up, but then it'll start to ease off again shortly after. Leclerc still stuck behind Perez. But he's close. He might have another look into turn 1. Lost a little bit of time through the final turns. Tyre temp starting to creep up again. 81 degrees. Give him mic on. He's gone the wrong side, cuts to the inside, couldn't get alongside. And it's another lap stuck behind Checo. Leclerc must be getting really frustrated now. Stroll struggling even on wet tracks. I deliberately nerfed Stroll's wet weather skill because it was obscene. He's not that talented in any condition. They based that off one race in Turkey. Back when they had a pink Mercedes. I just get the feeling that if it was us, we'd have punched our way, managing Leclerc, we'd have punched him through past Perez by now. We'd have just whacked the tyres on full, battery and fuel deployment maxed, and just punch him through and then calm the car down again. He might have a run here though. He's close to getting alongside. Oh, he's backed in. And he's coming under pressure from Norris now. Gap to Piastri and Russell now up to 4 seconds. Piastri's in full-on defense mode. Mirrors full of a monogasque. But he's doing a really good job hanging on to third place at the moment, is Checo. Here comes the big water. Still no way through, not even close enough for a little look this time. Gap now 4.5 seconds to Oscar. He still can't find a way past George either. I do think Oscar would probably have more pace than George if he could get through. This is why I'm surprised that we haven't seen anyone just go balls to the wall aggression to try and punch through here. Leclerc has come close on a couple of occasions. There's George looking back at Oscar. Leclerc slipping away again, look. Maybe he's recharging his battery for another run. Maybe Perez has upped his pace. Yeah, not a great lap for Charles Leclerc. And despite a couple of gaps starting to open up, between Colapinto and Stroll, Bottas and Gasly, everyone else is still pretty close. There's not really much breakage in the pack once you discount the first two. And I'm now convinced that everyone's going to the end, or at least until the potential slicks. You can see our forecaster is bringing it down at the end now. Both Max and Verstappen, both Max and Hamilton, both seem to think that we're going to be switching onto soft tyres around about here. This little window of the track. Around lap 50-52. Oh, Leclerc's got a fault. Yeah, so Leclerc does seem to be running an older engine like us. And is that going to cause him some serious issues? Is he going to start dropping back from Perez and into the clutches of Norris, who now has Bearman right up his backside? Ride with Norris. So far it doesn't seem to be hurting Leclerc too much. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, don't be Max, don't be Max. Damn it. It was Max.
Let's have a look at that. Right, we're taking the second corner. And wide they go.
It's cost him a little bit of time and potentially damaged the car. Is the underfloor okay? Yes, it is. Good. But we don't want too many more moments like that. Thank you very much. Lockup will have just, well, Max's tyres just getting a little hot. I need to try something. I think that is probably a bit too much pace.
We need to do the full management on this set.
Yeah.
More heavy rain coming.
Take care of the tyres in high speed.
Oop, OBS studio disconnected and then reconnected. So it might have just hung for a second there. And despite the fault, Leclerc is still trying to punch his way past Perez. The gap now over 5 seconds to Oscar. And this could be an opportunity. Oh no, he's just dropping back, look. Despite being in the slipstream, he's losing power on the straight. Oh, that's got to be the fault kicking in. Our tyre temps are continuing to climb. And we're not getting quicker.
Just cool your tyres.
Yeah, okay.
I think we're cooked. I think we're in real trouble
Right,
now.
tires, okay.
I don't know if we're actually going to be able to catch up to the pack. Oh, OBS disconnected again. And reconnected again. Yeah, OBS playing up a little bit today. And here's a chance for Charles Leclerc. Finally, up the inside. He hasn't got the power to get through. And Perez holds him off again. Ocon gets past Bortoletto. We've got a confirmed overtake for the first time since the opening couple of laps. That's been a long time coming. That's our first overtake since the opening laps. Lawson's got ahead of Stroll as well. We missed that one. So maybe Lawson was the first overtake since those opening couple of laps. Now, has Ocon got the pace to actually pull away from Bortoletto, or did he just capitalise on a bad moment? Oh, Stroll's made him. Stroll doing Stroll things. Running wide.
Now this was the 7th corner. And they just can't keep on the track. Really, they must
And that
be
drops him
careful.
down to 20th. And there's Max. And all of a sudden, we have a target. Matt gets some big water again in a moment as well. Heavy rain forecast. Except it's not, it's moderate rain with light rain forecast in 4 minutes. So again, our weather predictor not really proving all that useful or reliable.
Okay to push harder through 6 and 7 if you can.
We're over
Try
3
to
mil for the
increase
first time.
pushing status.
Let's see. Oh! Piastri has got the lead, or has he? Leclerc's dropped 2 seconds behind Perez. Norris gets through. Or he tries to. Piastri is through, and I expect him will start pulling away now, but Leclerc struggling. A little bit of drama, just suddenly all kicking off at once there. Let's see if Russell can hang with Oscar, or if Oscar can start pulling away. I think the pace is going to pick up regardless of whether George is able to go with him. And Norris just must be ruining the missed opportunity there. Not over. Norris is going to have another go. He's getting a face full of spray, but here he comes. Any contact, he gets up the inside. And this time he completes the move. Bortoleto and Gasly fighting. Gasly also diving up the inside. Can he complete the move? They're still right next to each other. And as the track gets a bit wetter, all of a sudden the race is coming alive. Oh, a little chop there from Gasly. Bortoleto had to lift. And Gasly is through. Norris looking like he's going to pull away from Leclerc here. Leclerc could start really dropping down the order. He's already starting to come under pressure from Yuki Tsunoda. Front two are now 7 seconds clear of Perez. And Leclerc's, yeah, he's dropping back. That fault is certainly hurting him now. Max is slowly closing in on Stroll as well. Well, 43.5, 143.2. Hamilton on 143.3. Piastri's almost got that gap. There we go. The gap's over a second. I think this is where we start to see Piastri disappear a little bit. It'll take a little while longer to establish a proper gap, but he's making the right moves at the moment. Now let's see if Norris has got the pace to go after Perez. Turn our attention over to Verstappen as he gets to about 2 seconds away from Stroll. There is Lance. A few laps away from halfway. Still no real clear indicator at the end of the Grand Prix, but it's looking more and more like we are going to see some dry weather. Oh, a little bit of sad news, by the way, for any fans of Beetlejuice or Home Alone. Catherine O'Hara passed away today. Died peacefully at home after a short illness, apparently. Something. Another hiccup from OBS. Really does say something about our car at the moment, that two of the best drivers in the world. In these conditions, they are specialists as well, and we are still languishing at the back. I'd like to think it's the powertrain is definitely contributing to the faults that we are having in this race, or the lack of power that we're having in this Grand Prix. But it's very sobering watching two multi-time world champions who are, as I say, specialists in these conditions, struggling to even catch up to Lance Stroll. Best race for Cadillac. Yeah, we are not doing well today. I'm regretting not putting in new engines. The gap between Oscar and George seems to have stabilised at just over a second. Perez still continues to fall back a little bit each lap. He's now over 7 seconds behind. Norris not really making any inroads into that gap. Leclerc hanging on, but here comes Yuki. Might start to see some pressure developing on Charles Leclerc again. And we are now starting to just cook the tyres a little bit. Well, we've got the gap under 2 seconds, briefly. That's the closest we've been to anybody for 20 laps now.
And we need to increase lift and coast by 30%.
Okay.
Then we need to increase lift and coast.
Yep.
No one's really able to make any real inroads. We've seen the odd overtake here and there, but I mean, the running order is essentially not that different from what it was at the start. I mean, Stroll's dropped down because he had that off. Pato's got a fault now. Getting closer and closer to seeing dry weather appear. Which we desperately need. We need something. Because if it stays like this, we are not getting into the top 18 with either driver. Still Tsunoda stuck behind Charles Leclerc. But he's close. Could be lining him up for a move. Norris has now caught Perez. There's the gap now 8.5 seconds to the front two. Kill to be in a position where we can just sit on the back of somebody like this and then try and push through. We've taken another small nibble out of Stroll, but it's not much. We're going to have to
Mode push.
Send him on the attack and hope that we can get him.
And you can use all the boost bar.
I'm cooked in this race. Yeah, we're struggling. We're definitely struggling. A lot more than I thought we would.
What about tyres?
I had very faint hopes of actually maybe being in contention for a point or two today, and the weather hasn't really helped because we don't have those changeable conditions. It's just staying into us all the way through until potentially some softs at the very end, but it hasn't gone below 1 mil for an extended period. It hasn't gone just above 4 mil for any kind of extended period. It's just been sat at around 2 mil for, well, the first half of the race, really.
Let's get after these cars in front. You can save less. You've got the pace. You can do this.
Okay.
Little issue for Checo.
I have some vibrations.
That's probably engine as well. And that might leave him very vulnerable to Norris.
Just look after these tires.
Pushing these tyres to the extreme here to try and find a way through. Haven't got much battery left. We've got a very small window of opportunity to get past Stroll
Do your
here.
best. As much as you can.
Yeah.
Ah, he's just sitting in the middle of the track. Damn you!
Okay.
That's it for the battery.
Car in front is Stroll. There's progress to be made. We need to reduce K1 usage.
Okay.
No worries, mate.
Come on, outbrake him, outbrake him.
Cool the car.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Fight him off. Come on, fight him, fight him.
Really good.
Ooh, had to work really hard for that.
He's 3 seconds in front of you. You need to keep the cars behind you. Behind you.
Excellent advice from Mark as always.
Cool your tyres.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Understood.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Understood.
So that is an overtake for Verstappen and some extra
That's
confidence
fun.
for him. Now we need to cool these tyres down quickly. try and get some battery back in the car. Hamilton's being able to close up now as well because we're driving in a very protective way. There is Hamilton closing in. That's definitely an indicator we are going to get soft tyres. It's just a question of when. Now we just need to pull that move off another half a dozen times to get our drivers where they need to be. Panicked for a second, then I thought I heard a shunt and I didn't see anything happening in front, so I was like, oh, don't tell me Hamilton's just hit the barrier. But it's just a random sound effect. Oh, bit of movement. Norris gets past Piastri. Past Perez. He's been stuck behind him for a little while. And with Perez having a fault, that might be it for Checo's podium.
And we need to increase pushing status.
Just need to bring Max's tyre temps down just a little bit more before we start upping his pace again. Plus, we need a little bit more battery in the car as well. We are actually slightly closing in on Lindblad. According to the times, it doesn't feel like that though. Feels like the gap's getting bigger. Yeah, 1.4 seconds slower that lap.
Charge on.
Okay.
Hamilton is still slowly closing in. See if we can punch him through now.
Deployed.
Mode push, please. Mode push.
So seeing get Max to break away and Hamilton to close up.
car in front is a Stroll. 1.0 now. Race is long. Tyre phase update when you can.
Problems.
All right, so we've got a little bit of a break between Stroll and Max. Lewis is closing in, but he's not close enough yet.
Keep going.
Might have the opportunity here. Nearly muscled through. Can we get him here into the end of the lap like we did with Max? Or like we tried to with Max. And Stroll parked it in front of us.
And just a reminder
This
on
time
the
we've got the line. We outbrake him. Hamilton is through.
Try to stay in front.
Oh wow, look at him suddenly
You need
come
to
fighting
keep your
back.
usage down a bit, otherwise you just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
There we go, shut the door on him. And Hamilton up to 21st.
Yep.
Just cool down the tyres as much as you can.
Okay.
Charge on. We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Right, now that we're through,
And we need to increase.
let's take another look at the weather. Definite dry tyres coming. Much needed confidence boosts. Let's take this opportunity to quickly get some battery back into Max's car.
Charge on.
Okay.
He is closing down Lindblad. And we're stuck behind O'Ward and Lawson. Leclerc gets past Perez, finally. Dive bombed him into turn 3. Can he stay ahead though? Yuki might have a dive bomb of his own here. Not quite. Not quite.
So increase pushing status.
So we're going to start banking some spare fuel ready for when we do go onto the soft tyres. And if we're quick enough in the pits, which we have been very good in the pits this year, then we might jump a car or two. Oh, it's a VSC. Colapinto is in the wall.
Virtual safety car deploy.
Let's take a closer look. Just look at how wet the asphalt is. Oh, that's where they hit the wall.
Big
All it
lock
can
up.
take is one mistake, one momentary
And that's one
lapse
less
of
car we have
concentration.
to try and punch our way past to get
And just like that, the hopes
up into
of
the top
team
18.
start to dwindle.
Take care of the tires.
Nothing to say for himself. We don't have a lot of audio for Colapinto,
management
but we do
required.
have some. It's too early
Yeah, okay.
to
Go back to doing lifting coast
switch to softs. It's way too early, unfortunately. But we can refill our batteries potentially on the cheap here. Certainly cool those tyres down, bank some spare fuel again. And while we're under VSC,
now. It's a big one.
we're going to pop a quick ad break.
Is everyone okay?
Possible debris. Car behind is Hamilton. Gap is 4.5 seconds. Hamilton right behind you. He's 4.5 seconds behind.
It is nice to be able to see the cars in front, actually see them. Should be going back to green flag conditions any moment. And there we go.
Clear to a safety car ending.
Understood.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Understood.
Track water level dropping a touch. Are we going to see anyone else bin it? We just need one place for Max. We need 2 places for Lewis. So 2 places for Max if we're going to get Lewis where he needs to be.
Energies are good.
Yep.
And that, I think, might be achievable.
Charge button on.
Gap between our drivers not quite big enough to box them both at the same time without any delays. It's not too far away from that.
Charge on.
Yep.
We're just about full on battery for Lewis as well, which is good.
And you are doing a good job on
Actually,
tires. Keep it like
I'm going to
this.
keep him in always defend. I'd rather not lose a place this late on, because then we might not get it back. Plus, it does give us a chance to maybe stretch that gap between them slightly if he stays in defensive. 20 laps to go. And dry track
Yes,
is
I think
on
we
its
have a
way.
leader.
At the moment, it's looking like making the switch to softs around lap 55, but it could well be earlier than that. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Oscar Piastri. It is a 134.7. Sorry, 137.4. 134.7. That's blisteringly, insanely quick in these conditions. Still a little gap to George, but hasn't dropped him completely. It's only 1.3 seconds. Big gap back to Norris. 13 seconds now, but Leclerc has not been able to stay with him, so it's looking good for Norris for the podium. It is going to be between George and Oscar for the win. I'd like to think that everyone's been using their battery since the restart, which means they potentially won't have any battery when the track dries. Our batteries are full for Lewis and almost full for Max. That might work in our favour as well when it comes to deciding when to push the box. Or whether to push to stay out and go for an overcut. We'll get another update to the radar in a couple of minutes. Track down to 1.6 and still falling. Piastri starting to stretch his legs a little bit, got the gap up to 1.7. Leclerc now 3.5 seconds behind Norris. How's our pace looking? 138.7, 10th quicker than Lindblad. And a 139.0 for Lewis, who is driving defensively to keep Stroll at bay. Yuki Tsunoda punching his way past Perez. So Perez has been let down by the car today because he has driven really, really well. He drops down to P6. And a chance now for Tsunoda to go hunting after Charles Leclerc, who still has a fault of his own that he's nursing.
The left rear is getting a bit hot.
Okay.
The dry window has extended slightly. We are looking around lap 52, 53 now for the switch. Pit window opens up in 4 laps time based on our pre-race prediction. Tsunoda's left Perez for dead and is already onto the back of Charles Leclerc. We still might need a bit of outside assistance if we are going to get both cars in the top 80. No, and the track getting a little wetter again. Ah, Pato's car gets a little worse. He's close enough to us that really might be a big help. He's not too far ahead that we can't catch him, and he's got cars behind him that are going to get held up. So a chance to try and close the gap a little bit here now on Lawson, Albon and Lindblad. Going to be a very tense, nervy end to this Grand Prix to see if we can actually get our cars where we need them.
Yeah.
Slightly quicker than O'Ward on that lap. And we need him to get dropped by Schumacher now. And it looks like that might be about to happen. Because once he loses the slipstream, that'll drop the pace off, hopefully quite significantly. He's going to be fighting hard to hold his position. That's going to slow them down even more. Track now at 1.89. 15 laps to go as George and Oscar cross the line. Still looking around about lap 52. And a very defensive line against Lawson there. Gap has now gone up to almost 2 seconds to Schumacher. It's a 1:39.7. That's what we need to see. We need to see really bad pace, but we need him to stay ahead. Stay ahead. Damn it. I'm taking it at the first opportunity. Oh, we did 1:39s as well. God damn. We only gained 4/10. Right, well, at least let's see if he can hold up Albon and Lindblad. Track over 1.9 now. It's still not getting where it needs to be.
And no more rain.
And there we go.
Yep.
Rain is ending, finally. Bearman gets past Perez. It's down to P7 now for Checo. He's just getting picked off now. God, I feel sorry for him. He was definitely worthy of a podium today. A 1:40.4. Lawson's pace is the lead pace in this little group. 1:39.6. We did close the gap by half a second again. Still not seeing the track dry up yet, though. It's still slightly increased. It's 1.93 now. 1.94. Come on, dry up. Gap now 4.4 seconds. Almost got away from Stroll as well. Hamilton's actually closing in on Verstappen. Gap's come down from about 3.5 seconds to just under 3 seconds. Leclerc gets worse. Oh, that's cruel.
Quiet, big vibration.
All right, across the line, Lawson does a 139.7, 139.9 for Award, 139.1. No, 139.6 and a 139 something. Now the track's starting to dry. 139.5. So we, again, claimed a little bit of time, but not much. A tenth for Max on that lap. Who is going to blink first, and are they going to blink too soon? Can Leclerc keep Tsunoda behind? Perez now 2 seconds away from Bearman, with Antonelli all over the back of him. I think it will be too early to box this lap. Leaders have stayed out.
Going slightly up.
Understood.
Actually, it's 1.6 and we're still here. I think this might be the lap to box.
No more rain.
Verstappen might have been bang on the nose here as Antonelli tries to go up the inside and gets past Perez. So Perez down to 8th place. It's still too early. We've got to stay out another lap. But the gap now just 3.3 seconds to Lindblad. Everyone's going to dive in at the end of this lap.
Mode push, please. Mode
Have to
push.
open that gap up to Hamilton.
Okay.
Mode in. Box this lap.
Box.
And box now. Box.
Gonna box this up.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Track drying has slowed down a bit. Oscar's going to stay out, I think. Yes, he is. So is George. But it might be just about perfect for us. It's slowed down again, look. It's still not ready.
Boxing now.
Okay.
It's still too early. We've got to go one more lap. Yuki sets a new fastest lap at 136.9. Antonelli beats it at 136.8.
Charge on.
Yeah, okay.
Gap is where it needs to be, about 4.5
Charge
seconds,
Yep.
so that we don't get held up. Still a little too dry, too wet for the leaders.
Focus is a long
But
race.
by the time we get there, hopefully it'll be just about perfect. I wonder if we're going to see anyone try and tough it out and go all the way without stopping. 10 laps to go, and we are boxing this lap. Is anyone in front of us going to box?
Okay, let's get on it.
Nobody yet.
To play for.
Here we go, into the pits.
Yeah, I'm in.
Box area is very slippery.
Okay.
There's the DRS switching on. Stroll will not get it. This needs to be pinpoint. 2.0, very nice. 1.94, even better. And now we just have to go absolutely flat out. Balls to the wall.
Stroll is the next guy. Hamilton behind you.
Russell's in. Piastri has stayed out.
Laps remaining at the end of this
Sets a new fastest lap. And that might be a mistake that costs him the race win here.
Okay.
We're going to see a flood of cars coming into the pits. Here comes Norris. Tsunoda. Leclerc's in. Antonelli has stayed out. Two Ferraris are both boxing. Max's tyres are finally up to temperature. Have we done enough? Here comes Stroll. There's O'Ward. Here we come. It's not a good stop. Where's Schumacher? There's Schumacher. His tyres won't be up to temperature yet. Here comes Hamilton through. Oh, Ward gets out right in front of us, but we'll get the DRS. Tyres are fired up. This is it. All or nothing time. We've had to wait all Grand Prix to get to this point. Hamilton is through, and purple in the first sector.
Yep.
Max is where he needs to be, but we need to get him up another place and Hamilton up another place if we're going to get them both in the top 18. Piastri finally hits the pits, as does Antonelli. Soft tyres going on. There's more guys stayed out than I thought. Lawson and Albon and Lindblad all stayed out. This gives us a huge opportunity to get an undercut here. Gasly and Bortoletto have stayed out. So has Valtteri. So have Lawson and Albon. They're going to try and tough it out. Their tyres are going to fall apart so quickly in these conditions. Lindblad in 12th. New fastest lap for Max. Hamilton's about to beat that.
Yeah.
There he goes.
We need to reduce K1
And after so much frustration, we are suddenly absolutely alive on track.
At the moment, we are the fastest car on track.
We're out of battery with Max. Damn it.
Okay, charge on.
We're almost out of battery with Hamilton.
Charge button on, charge on.
Gasly and Bortoletto are swapping places by the look of it. Norris is going to come absolutely flying past them, look. They're pulling over and letting him through because they're on the wrong compound of tyres. Lindblad is about to go tumbling down the order, and so are these two. We should jump all three of them at this rate. Lindblad pulls over to let Antonelli go flying through. And then next up is Sainz and Perez. Please let these guys pull over. They are pulling over. This is costing them so much time as they let other cars through. Lindblad is there. We are right behind him. And we got a safety car. It's a crash from Pato.
Safety car deployed.
Did Stroll hit him?
Charge button on. Stay as close as possible to the Delta.
Now this is where the RB driver's involved. There. That's
Oh, he just dropped it, and that killed whatever was left of his powertrain.
And that won't do their confidence any good.
And there goes Stroll. Award is out. We have a safety
And for
car.
the crew watching on in the garage, that really
But
must
the
have been
cars
a
that we
hard
were
one to
racing
take.
against have lost so much time, they should still come out behind us. Here they are, trundling into the pits. Max has already gone through. Hamilton's going through now. We're 15th and 16th. We've done what we needed to do. Just. I don't know how, but we managed it. Good stop there for Albon, having to wait though. Lindblad does get out just in front of Albon.
Debris on the track.
And the question is now, are we going to actually finish behind the safety car? This is a respite, a real
Car behind is now
reprieve
Hamilton.
of sorts
7
for
laps
Gasly and
remaining.
Bortoletto. They would have absolutely plummeted out of the top 10 had we not had the safety car. They're still probably going to. But there is an outside chance that Gasly might just get out in front of Antonelli and Sainz. Leclerc's down to P8. He's going to climb back up a few positions. Perez currently out of the top 10. Are they going to box, or are they going to try and tough it out? They're in. They're in. I thought they would be. I mean, the track is practically bone dry now. Bottas coming in as well. Antonelli goes through. There goes Bortoletto. I think he's jumped Gasly, hasn't he?
Okay.
Max is up to 12th. He's jumped all of them. Can Hamilton get through? There's Hamilton. He's not going to get past Gasly, I don't think. No, he's not. But we're up to 12th place. And if we can get a really aggressive restart, we might yet get a point with Max. How long is this safety car going to stay out for? We're going to drop an ad break in. It's a nervy final few laps.
Slow down now.
Yeah.
58. Russell did get ahead of Piastri because Piastri stayed out a lap too long.
Okay.
The field is still forming up. No one's been lapped. Both Maseratis have retired. Perez is somehow just hanging on for points. He's in P9 right now. Leclerc's back up to 5th. Is the car going to come in at the end of this lap? If it does, we will have 4 racing laps. If it stays out, another lap, and then it goes down to 3, then 2, and then potentially just 1.
Yeah.
See, Max agrees with my maths
good.
there.
Understood.
The safety car will come in. It's just a question of how many laps we're going to get. 1, 2, 3 or 4. The field is now just about formed up. So this is where we're going to find out as we hit the second sector. Split time. Is it going to come in this lap? No, looks like we're doing another lap. So 3 racing laps then.
Laps remaining, including this one.
Okay.
Oh, we got so much spare fuel on board. Batteries are full. Tyres are more than good enough to go the distance. We are in the top 18 with both drivers, so sponsor-wise, we have fulfilled our obligations. Board is still going to be pissed because it's not a podium or a win. Even if we get a point, they're going to be disappointed. I just know it. For those of you that are stuck around through what has been a very slow-burning race, I commend you, I salute you, I thank you. A thumbs up would be awesome if you haven't already dropped one. And hopefully your patience will be rewarded with a point or 2. Is this safety car coming in? Yes, it is. There we go.
Safety car is in this lap.
Yep.
Full attack. Perez could be vulnerable.
Let's get after these cars in front.
Maybe not necessarily for us, but he could certainly cause some issues for these guys, which we then might be able to capitalise on. We're going to race on board with Verstappen. We're going to leave Hamilton to his own devices. We're going to focus on Max because he is our chance of maybe getting a point.
Leader is backing the field up.
Oh, it's a bad restart. It's a bad restart.
Okay.
And we're under pressure. Bortoletto throws his car up the inside. Damn you, damn you, damn you, Bortoletto.
Alright, let's concentrate.
Hamilton is jumped by Valtteri.
Cool the car as much as you can. Cool the car.
Come on, fight him off, fight him off, fight him off. Yes, there we go. Hold it, hold it.
Nice job. So you are currently
Back to P12.
12.
Continue like this.
This is where we might maybe get somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not much we can do.
Just do your best.
2 laps to go. We are going to run out of battery on this lap.
Two more laps.
I don't think we're going to get any more places.
He's 0.5 behind. No worries, mate.
Saved the battery for an opportunity where we might actually be able to use it.
Try to stay in front.
Okay, rubber mode push.
Okay.
Leclerc's car is struggling again. Lindblad and Lawson fighting.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
We're not close enough this lap. Is Hamilton close enough? No, he's not. Gasly gets past Bortoletto.
Next guy in front. Bottas.
New fastest lap for Yuki Tsunoda.
Got
A
to leave
129.9.
Race is long.
Starting the last time lap.
I think we're going to have to settle for 12th and 16th. Oh, Lindblad and Albon scrapping away. Piastri gets ahead. Piastri gets ahead. On the final lap. Perez down to 10th place.
Do your best.
Max fighting off Gasly. It's just action all over the place.
Car behind is Gasly.
Evening, Nigel.
A long way to go. Mode push.
DRS.
You have to rewatch. You missed all the action. Well, you only missed the action if you from the last 15 minutes or so. You can skip everything from about lap 10 through to about lap 50. Very little happened.
This focus is a long race.
There we go, across the line. We will have to settle for 12th and 16th, but considering we were 21st and 22nd for a huge chunk of that Grand Prix, I will take that. We kept the sponsors happy, even if the board's going to be grumbling. What a dramatic end just
Alex
couldn't
Albon
quite
making
challenge
his
for that
way
point.
It's a P18 finish, and let me assure you, no one wants to find themselves down there.
With such a strong performance from Piastri, there's no denying that he's earned that place on the podium today.
4 superb wins to their name now this year, and it's been a pleasure watching them drive.
He had to work really hard for it, but yeah, he probably
Got
does
to think
deserve the
that
win tonight.
Singapore will be buzzing now for many hours to come. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Oh, I don't care what Karun has to say. Ah, dear. Right, confirmation then of the final results. It is another win for Oscar. Win number 4 from 6 Grand Prix so far. He really is looking very, very ominous for the championship this season. George gets an excellent second place. Norris takes third. Tsunoda up into 4th place. Charles Leclerc starts and finishes in 5th, with Bearman 6th, Antonelli 7th, 8th for Sainz, 9th for Ocon. Schumacher gets up 5 places to take 10th, and that final point away from Perez, who ends up finishing, where is Perez? 11th. There he is, just less than 3/10 away. Couldn't quite hang on in the end. Max in 12th after a pit lane start. Will take that all day long. Gasly 13th, then Bortoletto ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton in 16th place. 17th for Lawson, 18th for Albon, 19th for Lindblad, 20th for Stroll. 2 retirements, both of the Maseratis at different points of the Grand Prix. So driver standings looks like this. It is George moving up into 2nd place, but Oscar extends his gap at the top of the table. He now sits 31 points clear of George Russell, having pulled out another 7 on him today. Antonelli drops down into 3rd place. He's on 85 points. A little bit of a gap back to his teammate, but Norris has moved up into 4th over Charles Leclerc, 65 points to 60. Then it is the 2 Aston drivers, Ocon ahead of Tsunoda by 5 points. Bearman in 8th is up to 41. Hamilton still on 27 points in 9th. Albon 10th with 25. 24 points for Gasly, 19 points for Sainz. He picks up another 4 today. Then Bottas in 13th with 11 points. Colapinto has 9. Perez, Bortoletto and Lawson all tied on 8 points. Lindblad has 7th. 4 points for Lance Stroll in 19th place ahead of Pato Ward, who has 2. And then everybody now off the mark. It is Isaac from Schumacher, from Verstappen. Max dropping to the bottom 3 all tied on a point each. Of course, Hadjar not driving for anybody at the moment. In the constructors' standings, 35 points for Red Bull sees them stretch their gap over Mercedes. They're now 31 points clear. Mercedes picked up 21 points of their own today. They've got a nice, healthy 52-point cushion over the fight for 3rd between McLaren and Aston. Just 1 point between the 2 teams as McLaren take the ascendancy there. Ferrari has 60 points in 5th. Then a bit of a gap back to Haas, 35 points. Then Williams on 33. We're on 29. Then Audi with 12, 11 points for Maserati. And that extra point for Nissan, thanks to Schumacher finally getting off the mark. They're now on 8 points. Let's see how we did in the pit stops. We got the 3rd best stop with Hamilton, and Max managed to get in the points as well. So that's not bad. 17 points today. Nissan scoring well. Schumacher with the quickest stop of the day. Lindblad in P5. Ferrari takes 2nd. Williams in 4th. Nissan, as we said, have had a very strong day. Audi 6th. Red Bull taking 7th and 10th as well. Mercedes picking up a couple of points from Norris in 8th. Let's see what that's done to the standings. We are still top by 21 points. Nissan have moved up into 2nd place with just over double our points haul today. 35 points against our 17. Mercedes down into 3rd on 80 points. Then Red Bull with 76. No points for Aston or McLaren. They stay on 50 and 48 respectively. Ferrari jump Haas. They're now on 40 points, picking up 18 today. Haas stay on 35, and under pressure from Williams, they're now up to 34 points. 20 points for Audi in 10th. Maserati still bottom with just the 4 points. And there you see our one and only stops, both good enough to get in the points today, so that's excellent news. If we can win this competition this year, that will be $12 million in the bank. And of course, both drivers getting their sponsor targets achieved, so 2.658 mil added to the balance. Next up, we have a sprint in just under a week. Okay, the refurb is complete on our memorabilia room. We have that spare side pod now, which might immediately get pressed into action. Let's see. Something's broken on one of the cars. It's probably a side pod. Let's check our inbox. Post-race data. Here we go. Yes, it was the side pod. Everything else came through unscathed. These engines have now seen their last Grand Prix. They will be used in practice only from this point on, and we will have brand new powertrains for qualifying onwards in the next Grand Prix, which is Baku, a sprint and a race, and the perfect time for us to stick a new engine in. Now we see the memorabilia room giving us a little boost to team attractiveness, a little boost to our marketability as well, a little boost to team mentality. Those all will help. Let's fix the side pods on Hamilton's car. There we go. So we're back to a spare again. Still need more of the chassis. We've got that suspension done. There should be a spare coming soon, but I don't think we'll have it in time for the Grand Prix at Baku. Will we have that chassis? It's 3 days away and we're 4 days from Baku, so yes, we will have that chassis for Max going into Baku. Can we do well in Baku? The way things have been going, circuits where I thought we might have some good fortune hasn't really been that way for us so far this year, and we got the full force of Mark 4 of realistic racing today, and it was very tough to overtake. Baku is another circuit where it could be tough. That long main straight could be our only real opportunity of actually getting natural overtakes. We might have to work extremely hard to try and get an overtake on the run down to turn 3, and I doubt we're going to get any overtakes anywhere else. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Hopefully we can get a really good slipstream running qualifying, start further up the grid, and then we'll actually be maybe in the conversation for points. What's the weather going to be like? Let's have a look. It's going to be hot. Ooh, now that makes it interesting, because tyre wear, it's normally good enough that you can just do a one-stop, softs and mediums. But the increased temperature and the dirty air means that we could see people really struggling to keep their tyre temperatures under control. So we could see a lot of two-stops. We might even have to two-stop as well. Let's see what the board thought. Let's see how annoyed they are. Still medium confidence. They were, once again, disappointed. That's 5 races in a row. Only Melbourne is the only shining light of the season so far, and that is 8 disappointed from 10 Grand Prix now. That's not good. Not good at all. Once again, we do not make any further progress on the long-term objective, and we are still making no further progress on getting back towards 5th. We're just losing more and more ground. Not great. Let's take a quick look at our calendar, see what's coming up. We know we've got Baku here. We've got some research finishing off there. We'll get some money. Actually, no, we're going to lose some money here. So we can't spend any of this 3.5 mil because we're going to lose at least 2 mil of it. I think 2.1 mil when we get to Baku itself, which is annoying, thanks to our very high wage bill. We won't get any money from the sponsors for another month yet. 1, 2, 3 weeks away, actually. Not quite a month. New ATR in a month's time. And we'll have Spain to get through before we go there as well. Is Spain a sprint? No, it's not. Spain is just a normal Grand Prix. So, let's advance time. Into the inbox. It's the end of the month. We're about to lose a whole chunk of cash. Let's check the updates on our drivers first, though. Oh, that's the point. We need to refurb our race sim. Shit, that's going to cost me a fortune. So, Jack and Jack. No changes to them. Small improvement to defending for Pietro. Danny Rick has stayed the same. We have gained a point in accuracy for Ugo. No change for Logan. What about our main drivers? Are they just holding station, or are we going to see a small improvement somewhere? They're holding station. That's pretty much what I expected to see. Let's see. How much money are we going to lose? Ooh, yeah, 2.1 mil. Not nice. Not nice at all. Really not good. Strategy prep. It's going to be hot. We know that. Not expecting rain. We know that too. We will ignore the monthly car development because it's always disappointingly depressing reading. Let's check out what the rest of the grid's up to. McLaren have got an interesting new rear wing design, but apparently it's a bit crap. Come take a look at my rear wing and then make your judgments on what's a crap part or not. Team's in a fantastic place though. We've made a misstep with this car part, but we'll recover. All right, rub it in, why don't you? Spotlight on TGR. 6th in the constructors, 11th and 13th in the drivers. Gasly has shown some outstanding racing. Has he? Has he really? He's shown good racing. I wouldn't say anything outstanding. Both drivers are, in fact, working to a similar level. Well, yes, I won't dispute that. We won't be finishing this championship at the bottom of the grid. Is that a veiled threat at me? A veiled dig at me? It's Nissan currently worst off than Maserati. We have got more points than those two, but that's mainly because of Melbourne. You take Melbourne out of the equation, we're right down there at the bottom, I think. Let's get the pit crew training done tonight because it's going to be another long race on Monday, being a sprint weekend. So let's clear out. Let's see. We're going in with 0 fatigue. That's good. You'll be at 24%. That's excellent. Normally, we are about 34% coming out of a sprint weekend. So that's really good. That's going to allow us to get extra training in here. We are going to continue to work on our pit stop pace in the run up to Barcelona. And we have at least 3 weeks between Grand Prix after Barcelona, maybe 4 weeks. So we'll be able to get some more concentrated training in there as well. There we go. Perfectly balanced before we head in. When we come back out, we'll do a day of car building, just so we don't completely neglect that. And then we'll do some split training. Give the skills a little bit of a brush up, as well as working to improve the pace still. if I clicked the right day, wouldn't it? There we go. This might not be something we can do. Oh, no, we can. We can, as long as we keep that day clear. Excellent. So there we go. By the end of the month, we'll have improved our chance of a mistake to under 6%. We'll have got our estimated pit stop time down to just over 1.9 seconds. And our car building will increase to 80. Our stats looking pretty good now. Our current ceiling is 93. 87 is very close to that, so we might need to look at changing our training going forward. Let's confirm those changes. And let me check in on Will Courtney as well. So, yeah, training and processes. We need those two maxed out to get the best out of training. But it's aptitude that we need to increase if we want to up our skill limit up to 100. It's capped at 93 at the moment. We're going to keep him on innovation because those are the two most important stats for your sporting director to max out as quickly as you can. Training. If we can see the stats, there we go. So they can see training is the ability to develop the skill of the mechanics. The higher the rating, the faster they develop between the training sessions, and the less they lose between seasons. So it's always important to have that nice and high. And processes helps you to reduce the amount of fatigue that they gain from race weekends and training sessions. So those are quite possibly the two most important ones. Leadership is useful as well. A higher rating means a greater chance to minimize the delay from pit stop errors. And obviously attitude is the one that improves their skill limit. Currently 93. When we get that up to 90, when we get up to 100, it means our pit crew will have a maximum skill cap of 100. And by then, they'll be blisteringly quick. They'll be knocking out 1.8s on a pretty consistent basis. So, that is everything taken care of. I'll have a quick check at the mentality while we're here. So, the biggest issue is going to be car performance for everybody. Let's break Hamilton's down. We are still waiting to hear from Norris if he wants to come join us next season. So, Hamilton very happy with his salary, as he should be at 42 mil a year. Happy to be beating Max. His current affinity's a good little boost. As are his current results from Singapore. Unhappy with his standings overall in the drivers, and a little miffed that he missed practice, but we have to keep putting Ugo in the car to really give him a boost this season. And it will always be at Hamilton's expense, given that he is leaving the team at the end of the year. Happy with team and race results. Unhappy with the constructors' standings. Happy with me. Unhappy with the car itself. Max will have a slight grudge about the fact that he's not doing quite so well as he would expect against Hamilton. He's further down in the standings, but again, this is because he missed the opening 3 races of the season for us. He will also be slightly miffed that his car isn't the same. Actually, that doesn't seem to be a factor at the moment, and we're about to fix that for him, because I will forget if I don't do it right now. Let's, I'm in the wrong place. Let's go to chassis and give him the new Mark II chassis. There we go. Slightly less effective on DRS, but it improves acceleration, improves speed, slight improvement to our downforce levels, and a tiny bit more engine cooling as well. Given where we're going, that's probably a little bit more important. So his car is now the same as Lewis's again. Has that improved anything for him? No. He's still as he is. Let me check in with Ugo. Ugo is delighted at the moment. Happy to have, really happy to have participated in practice. Really happy to get some mentoring, and happy to get yet another participation in practice as well. So that is really good. We've got good results. That's keeping him happy. He's not happy with the constructor standings. That's a negative against his team performance rating there, but it's still strong enough. He's happy with me, very happy with the facilities, happy with that research is being done, happy with the staff. Car performance is still the biggest issue by far for everybody in the team. Let me quickly check the facilities because I know we need to refurb the race sim. How much is it going to cost me? Oh, 3.68 mil. That is not cheap. Not cheap at all. And our CFD is about to need a refurb as well. That's going to be about 1.5 to 2.5 mil. Ah, dear, oh dear. And suspension seems not too far behind either. All right, so we've got some big expenses coming up again soon. But that is it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. It took a while to get going, but when it did, we got some drama and some excitement at the end there. Nearly managed to challenge for a point. Maybe Baku will be better for us. We'll find out when we come back on Monday for round 7 and our next sprint weekend. If you have enjoyed tonight's race, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're not yet subscribed, why not consider hitting that subscribe button as well? And be sure to hit the bell for notifications on when the live streams actually start. There are more tutorials still to come for you console constructors out there. We've added in 3 this week, Bugatti, and what did I do on Wednesday? I've forgotten. What did we do on Wednesday? I think it was a sponsor, wasn't it? My brain's gone to mush. Let me have a look. What was it? Mobile 1. There we go. Yeah, so Mobile 1 dropped on Wednesday. Citroen dropped today. I'm going to be dropping another one on Sunday. That'll either be Texaco, if I haven't been able to fix the Fittipaldi logo in time, or it will be Fittipaldi, which still needs to be refined just a little bit. It's a little scruffy. But there will be a new tutorial coming, as I say, on Sunday. More new content will be coming back to the channel next week. I am going to be very busy recording a lot of footage over the weekend. And I'm going to start doing some more testing on the F1 2013 mod as well, the F1 Manager 2013 mod. So that series, I know it's been delayed, but I wanted to give Kevin Tardo a chance to fix some of the bugs that I'd found, which he has done. So I'm going to test again. And then, assuming that everything looks pretty good, there are some things that can't really be fixed, or not. We don't know how they need to be fixed yet. But as long as the main stuff that I pointed out is fixed, then we'll be starting that series very soon as well. Maybe not next week, probably the week after. But we will start getting historical with our F1 as well. So, yeah, that's what's coming back to the channel next week and beyond. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all again with some more F1 Manager very soon.